Number two is the government. Unfortunately, we have to protect ourselves from the well-meaning government agencies that are there to promote good cyber hygiene and then fine you. And I've even seen it threaten to put people in jail. I don't know that it's actually happened, but the government is definitely there to help us as well. We need to protect against that with through regulatory compliance. And then the final bucket of salt that goes in our wounds when we get hacked
Mhm.
is that the attorneys are going to come out after us and say, hey, you didn't have the proper protections in place. Therefore, you're negligent and you are now financially liable and responsible for the damages done. So
Oh, yeah.
it's just a triple whammy that, when you look at crime across the board, this is at least the only one I'm aware of where the victim is the one that we prosecute. The
Right.
victim of crime gets prosecuted in cybersecurity. It's crazy.
Right. Well, you bring up a really good point because there are some, wonderful lawyers out there, and I've had the benefit
Yes.
of working with them and doing that. But there are some who are just ambulance chasers. And in this case, they're business ambulance chasers, and their core source of income is looking for opportunities for lawsuits against people they can win against. And they're much more likely to win against a small business than a large corporation. So
Yeah,
they're
right.
it's the same reason hackers target
Hmm.
small businesses more. They're an easier target because they don't have all the defenses and deep pockets of a large corporation. So now you've got attorneys coming after them to be aware of. So what do small businesses need to do? And I say this because even if you're a consumer listening to this, you work with small businesses. Your veterinarian, your tax person, your fill in the blank is a small business. And how secure they are affects any and all information about you that they have. So it's important to know the basics of small business security so that you can protect yourself and also know what questions to ask, services that you're going to be working with. So with that said, Justin, what advice do you have for small businesses to put the basic protections in place? Let's say I'm a small business owner and I say, yeah, but I don't have the time or money to do that. I'll do that when I'm bigger, and then I get the,
So if there's a lot to this question, so let me kind of knock them down one at a time. The quick, easy answer to what you said is how do we, as small businesses, protect against lawsuits? And the answer to that is called a POAM, Plan of Action with Milestones. And that just means you identify the framework, the security framework that applies to you, to your business, to your industry.
right,
And an easy example of that is HIPAA. We hear that all the time in the healthcare industry.
right.
But most industries have some version of a framework that applies to them